Well, how about some retail saving? Here's a suggestion: growing your own vegetables. Colleen is here talking about a big trend. You were getting down and dirty with a gardening expert, were you?
I am. Dennis Flanagan from Landscape Ontario. He knows absolutely. I love this guy. We met him at Canada Blooms a month and a half or so ago, and he was so wonderful and knowledgeable. We thought we'd find out what turns out to be the biggest trend in gardening. For the first time in history, vegetable seedlings surpassed annuals. So everybody is into this trend in North America. Perhaps we're all inspired by Michelle Obama planting her vegetable garden at the White House. But we're suddenly looking at our garden of annuals going, well, what's the point of, I mean, it's beautiful color and lovely show and all of that sort of stuff, but you can't eat them now, can you? So anyhow, the big trend, partly because of the recession, partly because people want to know where does their produce come from, the return of the backyard garden is back on big time. When the lilacs are blooming, it's a sign of something. The guy who'll tell me that is Dennis Flanagan from Landscape Ontario. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. It is a sign. It's what we call a garden indicator. So anywhere across the country, when the lilacs in bloom, that's the time to look at this stuff. Planting.
The veggies and stuff?
So a couple of ways to grow vegetables, obviously from seed inside. So some of these plants were started about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
You mentioned the seeds. Definitely cheaper to go that route.
A big tip if you want to grow these inside is to grow them on top of the fridge.
Warm?
Yeah, they like heat.
Are we too late for seeds if people haven't done seeds already on top of the fridge?
No, but now you can sow them directly outside.
Let's head out to the garden. So Dennis, what do we need to know about dirt first off?
When you pick it up in your hand, it should just sort of do this through your hand. And that's when you know you've got a nice garden soil. Okay. If it clumps in your hand, it's too much clay. Okay. If you're starting with a brand new vegetable garden, we suggest that you do something called double digging, which is basically double the depth of a normal garden spade. In the bottom of that, you're going to put some farmyard manure or compost. Oh yeah, the good smelly stuff, you know?
Okay, so the first year's your hardest, you're saying?
First year's your hardest. A little tip for maintenance at this stage is, what you do is you put a plank of wood in, and this does two things. It leaves you access into the garden.
Okay.
The other thing is if you put eggshells or wood ash underneath it, it'll take care of the slugs. What we're going to do is select plants that are going to grow tall at the back. So things like cucumbers, zucchini, they can all be trained onto the fence here. And things like tomatoes, which are going to come up, if you've got beefsteaks, are going to come up 2 or 3 feet high. Do you like tomatoes, Colleen?
I love tomatoes.
All right.
How far apart for those tomatoes,
about
by
2
the way?
feet.
2 feet?
Yeah, about 2 feet. As they grow, what you're going to do is let them form about 3 leaves and then take out the top, pinch out the top, and that keeps them nice and bushy. Then you're going to have beautiful tomatoes. Okay. And so that we don't forget what it is,
we're going to write it down.
Now, why that is really important, Colleen, is there's something called crop rotation, which comes from the farming group, actually. What crop rotation means is you should never plant the same vegetable next year in the same spot.
Oh, okay. And what are we going to plant here?
I think let's put some, how about some peppers? Do you like peppers?
Oh, I love peppers.
All right.
So be firm around the roots?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and see, you
talk to them and say, grow to be a good jalapeno
I can see
pepper.
you've done this before, though, because what you've done is perfect. Okay. You've left a little trough, a little moat around it, so that when we water, the water will sit in there and not escape.
Fingers in the dirt.
Yes, fingers in the dirt.
In the dirt. And if it's feel moist, you're all right.
You're all right. That's all you have to do.
Get your fingers dirty. All right. Got it.
Maintenance-wise, yes, watering. 2, little bit of bone meal sprinkling on. Insects are the biggest problem, or big animals like rabbits. Yeah. If you've got rabbits, put a little chicken wire fence around the garden, keep them out. As regards insects, get into the habit of once a day in the morning, early morning, going out and just inspecting your plants and just hand picking any little aphids or...
But leave the ladybugs. Yeah. And how big a trend is this, the trend towards vegetable gardening? How huge is this in the whole...
Enormous. Actually, for the first time in history, retail history, vegetable seeds outsold annual flower seeds last year.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good to catch up with you
again.
You did a
good job.
I'll continue on with the digging. We got lots of work here.